Friends, welcome to Christ the King Catholic Church, and we continue with the Easter joy in this Easter octave. Today, we focus our attention on this last day of the octave on the mercy of God, the divine mercy. Once there was a priest who was speeding his car, and he tried to go faster than the posted speed. The cop stopped him and came to him and said, "Sir, you were going too fast than the posted speed." Like 40 was the posted speed. He was like 75 and 80. Then the police said that he should be given a ticket for the violation of the speed limit. So he goes back to his car and checks something on his computer, looks at his ID, and comes back and says, "Sir, you have to pay the ticket, the penalty for violating the law." Then priest right away thought, his theology kicked in right away, especially of the Beatitudes, and said to the police, to the cop, "Blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown mercy." Then the police goes back to his truck to check something else on, and meanwhile priest was thinking that he was able to convince the police not to issue a ticket. He comes back, he rolls his window down, and the cop says, "Sir, here's your ticket. Go, sin no more." Today we continue with that divine mercy. God tells us, "You are forgiven in mercy. Go sin no more." That is what we celebrate today on the second Sunday of Easter. This Sunday was previously called the second Sunday of Easter, or the last day in the Easter octave. But from the year 2000, this Sunday got a special name called the Divine Mercy Sunday. Pope St. John Paul II, in the year 2000, he instituted this Sunday as he canonized Saint Faustina. But for our reflection today, let us fix our gaze on the scriptures. Pope Francis has authored one of his famous books titled "The Name of God is Mercy." The name of our God is mercy. If ever you and I were to give a name to our God, it would be mercy. His name would be mercy. On the second Sunday of Easter, we are now confronting a very peculiar situation. But for us to draw consolation and strength, how this Divine Mercy Sunday can help us, let us turn to the scriptures. The opening prayer beautifully calls God as the God of everlasting mercy. The God of everlasting mercy. And in the responsorial psalm, we will be singing, "His mercy endures forever." This is not a kind of mercy which has a time frame or an expiration. God's mercy lasts forever. His mercy endures forever. And this is the basis, the foundation for the sacrament of reconciliation. You and I often need this sacrament of reconciliation for us to be reconciled with God and with our brothers and sisters from the abundance of God's mercy. How the church, and especially in these days, post-resurrection events unfold and give us this mandate and mission as Jesus did with the early church, the first group of disciples or the apostles. He gave them this task of reconciliation. And the reconciliation always flows from the abundance of God's mercy. The first reading from the book of the Acts of the Apostles, which we will be constantly reading in these days, shows us how the early church grew, especially through acts of mercy, sharing, sacrifice, and the love which is called agape love. Love which is based on virtues, agape. love that propels a person to practice virtue of mercy. And the second reading, letter to St. Peter, first letter of St. Peter, tells us these beautiful words which remain with me. In this you rejoice, especially in these times with the world and our own nation battling with the coronavirus, COVID-19. Notice these words, how powerfully they're conveying a profound message of hope and mercy. Although now for a little while you may have to suffer through various trials, so that the genuineness of your faith, more precious than gold that is perishable, even though tested by fire, may prove to be for praise, glory, and honor of God. Notice the words. For a little while, you may have to suffer. COVID-19 has taken a kind of total control over the entire world right now. Anywhere you turn on the news, the first news and the only news is about COVID-19 coronavirus. But let us take inspiration, let's draw strength from this second reading, first letter of St. Peter. For a little while, you have to go through these trials, so that as gold is tested in fire, we will grow in our knowledge of God, who will lead us safely through this situation. And the gospel reading summarizes, which can be divided into two parts. Jesus gives the apostles, the first 12, the mission of preaching the good news, and the good news entails what? God's love, mercy, forgiveness, and that is what we call in one word, salvation. God's self-disclosure through His Son and especially through mercy. The church today, which is you and I and all of us, church local and church global and universal, has to become a home of mercy, a school of mercy, celebrating the second Sunday of Easter. And in the gospel reading, notice how Jesus beginning to give this assurance of hope which can be given to us by the Holy Spirit. Notice the words, peace be with you, as the Father has sent me, so I send you. Then He breathed on them. The original breathing of God at the Genesis story of creation. Now Jesus continues that mission and mandate of giving us that ruah, the breath of God. In Greek, the word is called pneuma, pneumatology, which is the action of the Holy Spirit. Ruah in Hebrew, which means the breath of God. Jesus gives them the breath of God and sends them out on this mission of proclaiming the mercy of God that endures forever. For His mercy endures forever. His mercy lasts forever. That is what we celebrate today. We enjoy this mercy. We draw our source and strength from this fountain of mercy, which is Jesus Himself, the face of God's mercy. The name of God is mercy. And in the gospel, the second part talks to us about Saint Thomas and his famous proclamation of faith, my Lord and my God. My Lord and my God. We don't see historical Jesus anymore today, but we do see the mystical Jesus present in the church, especially through the sacraments and more so in the sacrament of reconciliation. When Jesus came and greeted the apostles, peace be with you, St. Thomas was not present. So therefore he had doubts. He said, unless I put my fingers into your wounds, I won't believe. And later on, from that skepticism of St. Thomas comes these profound words and manifestation of faith. My Lord and my God. My Lord and my God. They come from that such proclamation of his own faith. Today, we are called to profess that faith. And second reading, as I go back once again, gives us the note of hope. See the proclamation and conviction of Peter. For a little while you will suffer, but then, as gold is tested in fire, you will come through this situation. Once there was a man who wanted his photograph taken. He goes to a photo studio and asks him, can you please capture me a photograph of mine? And he goes back after a week and asks for his photograph. And he looks at him and says, no, this is not me. Can you do some justice to his photograph? And the photographer right away says, sir, at this point in life, you need mercy, not justice. We need God's mercy, period. There's no second question. We need God's mercy, especially in these times with coronavirus, COVID-19. And we take inspiration and strength, drawing hope from the words of Saint Peter. For a little while, you may have to suffer these trials, but God will lead you through these testing moments, these trying times, as gold is tested in fire. But are we ready? Am I ready to profess that profound conviction? Like St. Thomas, my Lord and my God? And are we ready to take our source and consolation from the words, for His mercy endures forever, His mercy lasts forever? Can we see in the face of God's name, the name called mercy? Then this second Sunday of Easter makes a difference in our life, in our personal lives, in our families, in our communities, in our parishes, in our archdiocese, in our nation, in the world, especially in these trying times with coronavirus COVID-19. Friends, we thank you for joining us for all of our masses now streamed online. Please do continue to support us. We do need your generous help now more than ever. Please continue to follow us on our social media platforms for our masses on Facebook. Visit our YouTube page for our updated homilies, the latest homilies, and also follow us on Instagram. And please do visit our parish website www.ctksatx.com. Thank you and God bless, and I wish you all a very blessed Sunday of Divine Mercy. May God's mercy be upon us, especially in these times with coronavirus COVID-19. Father Praveen Lakkisetti here at Christ the King Catholic Church, San Antonio, Texas. Thank you.